Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Astara and I'm an angelic communicator and clairvoyant. And I want to talk to you today about something that can be pretty painful if it happens. And so I have a lot of compassion for any divine feminines who have gone through this with their twin flame or with actually anyone. Maybe even our sacred masculines, that if anyone has done this to you, then it's a horrible experience. And it's really important we don't spiritually bypass any of that, like to really feel it and to work through it and to understand that those wounds that are building up in the matrix, in the psyche, in our ancestral lineage, aren't actually wounds that we have to carry anymore. So what I want to talk to you today about is when your twin flame ignores you. And this can be in public or in private. So you might have had a real lovely connection with your twin. You might have had a really wonderful kind of honeymoon phase with your twin, or maybe you haven't had any physical intimacy with your twin. Maybe you've just met them and you just see them around, but there is some sort of connection here where you really want to really connect with your twin and just be acknowledged by them. And then if you meet them at like a touch point in public and you find that they just ignore you or they run away or they pretend not to see you. So this can happen in situations like going to the local shop if you know your twin, or maybe at work, or maybe if you meet them at the school gate or at a party or anywhere you like, because we're always constellating with our twins. It's quite interesting to when you begin to map about what the patterns are, where they're going, where you're going, you'll be finding your energy fields are crossing over more than you think. And so you don't really expect for somebody that you feel very soul connected to, very aligned with, maybe you've had deep closeness with them as a physical reality, as well as the 5D reality in your dreams, in just knowing that you're having the mental telepathy in your head, and that when you see them, they do not want to acknowledge you. And I've had situations with clients where the twin has literally run to the back of a shop when they've seen their twin and hidden and not wanting to come out of that aisle, and the other twin has known. And obviously, most divine feminines are they're such beautiful, wonderful souls. They're really very high vibrational souls, very sensitive souls, very empathic, usually amazing healers. And they have like this ability, the psychic ability and incredible clairvoyance usually. And they know when their twin is near because they can feel it. Yeah, they can feel it. And often they have a sensation, a bodily sensation. So they know when their twin's around. And to not be drawn to their twin, because it's like you could probably work out where your twin is, even if you didn't spot them in the corner of your eye, you'd feel it. And to know that actually when your twin does that, they probably need space from you. I mean, they're kind of running away, yeah, so they need space, but also to not allow that to come into your reality as an attack on who you are. It's quite important that the divine feminine, if this happens to you, to acknowledge the pain of that situation and also not to excuse the twins' behavior, because it's not right, is it? It's not right. But let's understand from this video why it might happen and what we could actually do with this situation if it happens to you. There's obviously a misunderstanding when this happens, and it's quite important because I think the divine feminines, because we've grown up in a world that has so much distortion, often there has been a rejection of the feminine by the masculine. That it's been the other way around as well, but you often see the feminine can be rejected. And so sometimes there can be very deep wounds of unworthiness, abandonment, heartbreak, like where someone has often discarded you or felt that you weren't good enough. The wound of not being good enough, like, comes up a lot, even though this is part of a conditioning, a program that isn't real. It's an illusion program, but you're going to feel the sting. Like if you go to a place and your twin doesn't acknowledge you, it's going to be hard. And particularly if you're someone like me, where if I ignore someone, it's because I absolutely mean to ignore that person. And usually I'm quite good at, having a conversation with someone, and if it doesn't, we can't resolve it, then I will just, not give that person any energy anymore. And so I, perhaps for whether that's good or bad, I don't know, I'm Virgo, I will intentionally, block someone because I don't want them drawing on my energy, and I won't give them time unless they're ready to step up and meet me on a certain level in the same way that I'm happy to meet them. So there can be something here that I want us to understand, that if this is happening, if your twin does this behavior and they avoid you, that they are often not doing it for the same reason. So if you do it, you might be like, I don't want to talk to that person, I don't like them, or whatever, like I disagree with who they are, or something like this. When a matrix twin does it and the masculine twin, maybe the reason is not what you think it is. So I want you to sit in your heart with that, because if your twin flame avoids you, it's often because they're processing very intense emotions. The sacred masculine goes through a lot of fears, and they are dealing with a lot of shadows within themselves, a lot of self-sabotage, usually because their wound is often linked to the core of not feeling worthy. So even though their soul recognizes you, their human self may not be able to manage or control the intensity of the connection that they have with you. So what you want to remember is that this experience is not only about you, and that your twin, if they're avoiding you, they're needing to do some shadow work on themselves. They're needing to go deeper. And what you're learning as a divine feminine is that this behavior from your twin does not destabilize you, does not take you back into a wounding that you have healed. And this is where the mastery of the divine feminine comes in. Like, this is where we have to really come into our own power and be completely stable, be completely unable to be rocked and moved. But it's natural. If that happens, go home, have a cry, go home, talk to your friend, go home, journal about it. It's a very natural thing to feel hurt if somebody ignores you. In fact, it's kind of the most painful thing, because what they're trying to do is sort of eradicate your existence on some level. And that's not nice. It's not a nice human quality, is it? It's not what we want. It's not a heart-connected quality. Once you've done that, then come into your mastery, feel into your connection with your twin, and see what they have to say. Because often they'll say to you, I just couldn't handle it. It was too intense. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold that. Mastery knows that you can see what's happening and you can acknowledge it. You can see it clearly, you can feel it fully, and yet not be consumed by it. You can allow that pain to move through you like a wave without clinging to it, without making a story about it, without letting it stuck in your body. And you can breathe, you can center yourself, you can remind yourself that their behavior, or anybody else's behavior on that matter, does not define me. It does not dictate my worth, and it does not alter the truth of this connection. Because when this happens, you'll begin to wonder, are they my twin flame? If they were my twin flame, why have they run to the back of the shop? Why are they hiding? Why are they getting somebody else to look around the corner and see if I've gone or not? Or that kind of weird behavior that people do, like at parties, or, it happens. This is why, as a divine feminine, detachment becomes your teacher. It's part of your mastery. And this does not mean that you have to be cold. It does not mean you have to block them. It does not mean you have to mirror them and their crazy little behavior. But it means that you need to redefine who you're going to be in this connection. Are you going to be someone that is allowing someone to just treat you badly? Or are you going to be someone that's sitting in grace, sitting in ownership of your power, and allowing that person to go through their process? It's more empowering for you if you can meet it in that way. And you are kind of allowing them to be who they are and where they're at without their process pulling you off your path. So just remember that every moment in this twin flame journey is a mirror. It's teaching you how to hold your center. It's teaching you how to remain grounded in love, with love for yourself, and also how to let your twin flame journey unfold in its own divine timing. Because the version of them that is running to the back of the shop or ignoring you or whatever they're doing is not a version you want. It's not something that's going to feed you and nourish you and make you feel good about yourself. So it's a bit like they can go do their stuff over there, they can sort themselves out, and you can hold your center and refocus all your energy on self-love, making things right for yourself, and filling yourself up, your container, with your own acknowledgement, with your own worthiness, with your own knowing on a deep level that you are worthy of connection and you are worthy of acknowledgement. You to acknowledge that within yourself, that that pain that they're causing, your feelings, they absolutely matter. They absolutely matter. And this calling on your self-love and your self-healing is going to help this process. And it's going to be help the twin dynamic as well, help to balance this twin dynamic. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your courage as well of being on this journey. It's not for the faint-hearted. And just remember, you're carrying a light for humanity when you're walking a twin flame path. You're being asked to dive deeper into yourself, into your shadows. You can really congratulate yourself and your twin that you're actually walking, taking steps here, walking these paths, which are very, very difficult, and they are about energetic mastery. If you want to work with more with me, you can book a soul session with me online. The link is in my Instagram or below. And I also do workshops on twin flames and karmics and soulmates. So to get us looking at love in a more dynamic way and to really embody and embrace who we are and what we're creating here on the planet.